Okay, guys, getting back into it. I want you to check out this clip. Have a look.
Is homeownership a top priority for you right now at this age, or no? What's your biggest priority right now?
Biggest priority would just be getting through school right now,
Yeah.
and then finding a job or like a career I could have.
I hope it would be like by my late 20s, but now if I'm being honest, it's like pushing past 30 because I'm just gonna finish school, have to do another school for 4 more years, make money, pay off my student debt, and then settle in. Like, that's a very long time, and I don't think whatever I earn before I'm 30 is gonna be enough for me buying a house.
I really don't know. I could see it, if I get lucky, maybe by the time I'm 30, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 10 years after that. Who knows?
Do you see yourself owning your first home?
Like mid-30s maybe?
42% of first-time home buyers is 35 years and older.
It was evident to me that home ownership did not seem to be really high on the priority list for these guys here on campus. So why would that be, Angie? What do you think?
I think the narrative behind, let's look at why, right? Like, why is it not a priority? And it goes back to what we talked about earlier. I think there's a narrative out there in the media that, is pushing the agenda saying that homeownership is unattainable. Prices are so high. Interest rates are so high. So I truly think that that's a big part of why these young kids are really feeling that.
So they're essentially feeling like it's just unachievable. So
absolutely,
why even make it a priority?
They're writing it off. All right, I feel they're writing it off immediately.
And you make a great point, but I think also the concept of a larger debt loads on younger people. Education is much more expensive, and many kids now are taking on a lot more debt earlier in life. And we're probably in my generation, we wouldn't buy the brand new car. We would buy the junker and drive it around. Now, they want to have a nice car. They want to have all the nice toys, the phones and the laptops, and that requires capital. And so maybe the concept of more debt load has pushed the probability of owning a home to a later date. And it's interesting, the dynamics, I think you had mentioned earlier, the age of individuals buying a home now for the first time has gone up dramatically versus maybe a generation ago. And so maybe some of that sacrificially is not there anymore, or the propensity to more debt earlier in life versus maybe a generation ago.
And
that's something, what do you guys think?
So to me, Tony, that sounds like it's a financial issue around education. So when you're looking at a home, they're not understanding the full financial vehicle that is home ownership, where they might just say, hey, I'm supposed to own a home because that's what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to have our kids, dogs, snowplow the driveway, where they're not thinking about, okay, once I've owned it for a year, 2 years, how can I refinance and pull my money out and buy another property that can pay for the car, pay for the new iPhone, or pay for, retirement. There's a lot of people that aren't necessarily going into just traditional jobs anymore. It's a lot of self-employed people, entrepreneurs. What's your retirement look like? And that's how, home ownership.
And job stability has been another crucial point to this, because the average person in my generation had probably 3 careers. Today, it's about 15 to 17.
Yeah.
So now the lack of continuity in your work is now really affecting your ability to buy a home. So that continuity in employment is also an issue when it comes to the ability to afford and to have that continuity in income.
I want to know what you guys think of this. I mean, spending 4 years in university, maybe 6 years, 8 years for some, right? That delays that home ownership. There are more kids going to university now than ever before, or some sort of post-secondary education. You think that has had an impact?
I think it absolutely does. Definitely.
Yeah. So it's changed the priorities. If you notice on the clip there, the guy's like, listen, I want to finish university. That's my first thing. And then I want to find a job. And then there's home ownership has fallen in that list of priorities, right?
Well, the employment history, is super, super important when, like what you said, when trying to actually get approved for a mortgage. If you don't have that history, credit history, employment history, then you're delaying it even further.
Let me ask one more thing in regards to this. There are a lot of vices out there now, a lot of distractions, a lot of small little expenses that add up, right? Whether it's Netflix. Yes. And this is, talking to this generation, I noticed they're all getting hit with Amazon cost, Netflix,
Disney,
Uber Eats, Disney, boom, boom, boom. All this takes a toll on that credit card bill that at the end of the day, you're not going to have that disposable income to put into savings to then save for a down payment. Do you notice this is a problem?
Yes. So there's a battle of the dollar, right? And so every corporation out there is looking to get the residual from your dollar.
Yep.
And so whether it be the Amazons, the Disneys, or whatever, they're looking at getting a piece of pie of each dollar you make. And so it is true; those were non-existent 40 years ago. But and this is a major issue because there's soft costs, but they all add up.
Yeah, yeah, and perhaps this has created a lack of motivation in this generation.
That's right. And I think it's based on instant gratification, right? Because you pick up that phone, you're like, yes, buy. Where if I had to go up, and buy a T-shirt or something, I had to get in my car, put my snow boots on, and get myself to the store, try it on, figure out it didn't fit. And then I'd be like, okay, now I got to go back home. Where now they could just buy it right from their phone. It's instant. It's like a like on their social media. It's like somebody's commented and engaged with them. And that's why, they look at their credit card statement at the end of the month and are blown away at how much they actually.
There are studies out there showing the delay in gratification, and they've actually done these tests with young children. And the delay of gratification can actually dictate a lot about their success.
Yeah.
The ones that were able to delay gratification
Good point. Interesting.
were much more successful long term.
Was that a one marshmallow now or
Something like
2 in 5 minutes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so they did that testing with young people. And now I'm not a psychologist, nor do I want to pretend to be one, but it is something about delayed gratification. And maybe we have a migrant surge over the last year, about 1.2 million, I believe, in Canada. And that migrant surge are people that are coming really from poverty, many of them, I'm speaking generality. And so it'll be interesting to see the dynamics because they're coming with a risk mindset because they don't have anything. And now they have an opportunity. They can see this great Canadian country that we have, or American country if you're from going into America, opportunity galore. And they may seize that opportunity maybe more so than maybe somebody growing up here as a child.